residential real estate has really been making the headlines for the last 2, 3, 4 years, it seems like. But one of the headlines we're starting to see more and more of is commercial real estate. We're starting to hear a lot of people talk about what's sort of coming down the pike at the end of 2010, which is this year, and or 2011, and as we go forward. A lot of the groups that we work with are primarily commercial investors, but because of the tantalizing situations that were out there, many of them were looking at residential, but commercial is really kind of where they want to play. So when we were sort of putting this panel together, we said, you know, we wouldn't be doing justice for the crowd, for the attendees, if we didn't sort of tap into the commercial side and sort of talk to somebody who's really kind of in the trenches, is in a situation where, again, been on the ground for a while, has gone through Miami for quite some time, previously headed Cushman and Wakefield's operation down here in Miami. So we reached out to Tere, and you know, we're fortunate enough that she's going to give us a little presentation on what's going on. But with that, I give you Tere Blanca.
Thank you. And when I came in this evening, I saw Michael and I said, Michael, if you're expecting a whole bunch of bad news, I'm not going to be it. You know, I'm an optimist. And he looked at me and says, no, we're realists. And I said, yeah, you're right. You know, back in 1979, I moved to Miami, and I was arriving from Venezuela. And at the time, you know, Miami was trying to be a big town, and half of the commercial space that we have in place today certainly did not exist in the central business district. And the high-rise towers that we see on Brickell and downtown and spurring all over the county were not around. And after I graduated from the University of Miami, finished my graduate degrees, I moved to San Diego and spent about 3 years there. And came back in 1987, and everyone said, are you crazy coming back to Miami after being in San Diego? I mean, the weather is perfect, it's Southern California. I mean, what else, you know, do you want? And I said, I want Miami. You know, the diversity that existed here already and the energy that this place had then has not only but increased over the years and really has, you know, fueled the economy and the activities that take place both from a business and a personal level in this city. From my perspective in the commercial sector, I'm very thankful to the residential developers because they have transformed our urban core. I don't think that you can become a world-class city until you have a truly developed urban core. And that includes a lot of residential and a lot of people living in these residential towers and cultural activities in addition to the business activities and all the entertainment that comes along with having a thriving global city. So the fact that we've built all these units on Brickell Avenue and downtown actually is going to be one of the best things that ever happened to the city of Miami and to Dade County, looking back in a few years. From a commercial standpoint, I'll frame my remarks more around the office market. That is where I play in for the past 25 years in the industry, although I'm very familiar, of course, with industrial and retail. I'd like to focus a little bit on office, which I think you read about every day in the paper because we have a lot of square footage coming online in Brickell and downtown, so, you know, we make the paper every day. Oh, there's a huge oversupply of office space in Miami-Dade County, and how are you going to fill that up? Well, the office market in Miami is about 45 million square feet. That's what the global firms track. That's Class A, B, and C product. Brickell downtown, Coral Gables, or West Dade being the largest markets in Miami-Dade County. But then there's a lot of other smaller buildings throughout. So I mean, in CoStar, who tracks commercial product, you know, they tell you that the office market in Miami could be as large as 100 million square feet when you consider owner-occupied and other kinds of office buildings that the big firms don't track. We closed the year in 2009 with negative absorption. Yes, we had a lot of sublease come back into the market. We had much slower velocity in leasing than we had in the past few years, and it was a negative absorption of, you know, a good number of 500,000 square feet. And currently, we still have about 800,000 square feet of sublease space that is adding onto the 14% vacancy of direct space with owners. So certainly, we have a supply issue, and we have to deal with it. Now, there are various factors that are external factors to our industry that I think need to be talked about when we address the health of the office market. And many of these we addressed today already, and actually they are positioning us for a very strong recovery. I do agree, we've hit bottom already last year, third quarter. We are in the rebound, and 2010 and 11 are going to be very positive years for the industry in many respects, and I'll get to that from a sales standpoint as well as a leasing standpoint. But fact of the matter is that when you look at new construction last year and this year, we're adding little over 2 million square feet of space, mostly in the central business district. There's a little bit of space in Airport West Gate, no space in Coral Gables, and then you've got, you know, the space that is sitting vacant that needs to be leased up. We've got international trade coming back. We've got the Panama Canal opening up soon, and Port of Miami doing infrastructure work to make sure that we can receive post-Panamax vessels, which is going to increase our international trade. We have an international community, not only in business, but of population that arrives every day in Miami from all over the world, not just South America. When you look at what happened to the emerging markets globally last year, Brazil was #1 of the emerging markets in performance all around. They're their #1 trading partner in Miami. That's a very positive influence. We have over 185,000 businesses in Miami. A lot of these employ, or 80% of them, are less than 50 employees. You know, that is a blessing in disguise when you're going through a period like this. We are not tied to any one sector in our industry, and we are not a corporate town that when they shut down, we shut down completely. So the diversity of our economy helps us in the office market. It helps us in the industrial market. It helps us, with the retail consumption as well. The fact that we've had major investments from Spanish companies and Spanish banks coming into Miami is an important factor as well. From a financial services industry, there have been major acquisitions from banks in Spain and Miami, and they're coming to Miami not because they want to be in the Miami market only or they want a piece of the South Florida market. It's because this is going to be their base to grow into Florida and to extend throughout the southern region of the United States and compete with the Santanders of the world that already have a huge piece of the market here and the BBVAs. So this is a place where we receive international business, and from here, they take off to capture a share of the American market and to capture Latin America and the Caribbean. Our location is very unique, it is strategic, and no one can change or take that away from us.